This isn't just another full moon. This week, something is different. The energy is surging, and the veil between worlds is thinning. Are you feeling it? This snow moon isn't just a pretty sight. It's disrupting the global energy grid in ways that will shock you. The erratic sleep, the sudden anxieties, the technology acting up, it's all connected, and it's all escalating right now. The global energy grid, it's not just power lines and cell towers. It's the intricate web that connects every living thing on this planet, from our physical infrastructure to our collective consciousness. It's the invisible network of energy that flows through us, around us, and between us, a network that's now experiencing unprecedented turbulence. You might be experiencing this turbulence as unexplained headaches, a racing heart, or a sense of unease you can't quite place. Perhaps you're noticing more synchronicities, repeating numbers, meaningful coincidences, or dreams that feel incredibly real. These aren't random occurrences. They're symptoms of a larger shift, signals that the energy grid is struggling to adapt to the intense energies emanating from this snow moon. Our modern world, with its reliance on technology and constant connectivity, has made us incredibly vulnerable. We are more interconnected than ever before, yet this very interconnectedness has created new weaknesses, points of entry for cosmic events to wreak havoc. But this disruption isn't a cause for fear, it's an invitation to wake up, to strengthen your inner foundations, and to build a more resilient life, both individually and collectively. This isn't just about personal well-being. The stability of our global energy grid directly impacts everything, from our emotional states to the functioning of our global systems, power grids, communication networks, financial markets. Everything is connected, and a ripple in one area can create a tsunami in another. Choosing to ignore these signs leaves you vulnerable, adrift in a sea of chaotic energy. But understanding these dynamics, becoming aware of the patterns and the forces at play, empowers you to navigate these energies effectively, to reclaim your power, and to actively shape a more conscious future. This is about taking control of your destiny in the face of global uncertainty, and understanding that your personal well-being is inextricably linked to the well-being of the planet. So how does a cosmic event like a snow moon influence something as complex as the global energy grid, and more importantly, you? Just as solar flares can disrupt satellite communications, our bodies and minds resonate with the energies of the cosmos. Think of it like a giant tuning fork, vibrating in response to celestial events. The energy grid itself is multifaceted, extending far beyond the electrical grid we rely on for power. It encompasses everything from the human aura, that electromagnetic field surrounding each of us, to the Earth's ley lines, those invisible pathways of energy that crisscross the globe. It includes the collective consciousness, the shared thoughts and emotions of humanity, and even the complex network of global finance, all interconnected and interdependent. Throughout this video, we'll be exploring 3 primary knowledge threads to help you understand this phenomenon. The recurring physical and emotional symptoms people are experiencing, the technology glitches that are becoming increasingly common, and the surge in meaningful synchronicities that are guiding us toward a deeper understanding. We'll examine how these cosmic events amplify existing vulnerabilities within the energy grid, creating a domino effect that impacts every aspect of our lives, and why this snow moon is acting like a cosmic magnifying glass. But is this amplification merely a natural cycle, a cosmic dance of energy and vulnerability, or is there something else at play? Are there unseen forces, hidden agendas, actively influencing the energy grid, manipulating its frequencies for their own purposes? What is the true nature of this grid, and how deeply are we truly connected to it? Is it possible that our thoughts and emotions, our collective consciousness, can actually influence its stability? And what about the potential for shadow technology, technologies hidden from public view, to manipulate the grid for nefarious purposes? To what degree do external forces control our world, and to what degree can we reclaim that control? These are the questions we'll be exploring as we delve deeper into the mysteries of this snow moon, and its shocking impact on the global energy grid. Let's expand on this global energy grid. Think of it not just as wires and circuits, but as a living, breathing network of interconnected consciousness. You are a node in this grid, a point of awareness connected to every other point. The emotions you feel, the thoughts you think, they ripple outwards, influencing the entire system. This is the essence of collective consciousness. A shared pool of awareness where individual energies merge and interact. Consider emotional contagion, how easily a wave of fear can spread through a crowd, or how a shared moment of joy can uplift an entire community. It's the same principle operating on a global scale. Even something as subtle as the human aura, that electromagnetic field surrounding each of us, acts as a silent transmitter, broadcasting our emotional state to those around us. And consider the potential of mass meditation, where thousands, even millions, focus their intention on a single goal, like reducing violence or promoting peace. The results, while subtle, can be statistically significant, demonstrating the power of collective consciousness to shape reality. But this interconnectedness also creates vulnerabilities. Stress, anxiety, and negative emotions act like cracks in the grid, weakening its overall integrity. Social media algorithms, for example, often exploit these emotional vulnerabilities, feeding us a constant stream of sensationalized news and divisive content designed to trigger outrage and fear. This not only erodes our individual well-being, but also destabilizes the collective energy field, creating an environment ripe for manipulation. Economic instability, too, can trigger widespread anxiety, leading to a sense of helplessness and despair that further weakens the grid. And have you ever considered the possibility of psychic attacks, where negative energy is intentionally directed towards individuals or groups? It may sound far-fetched, but the power of focused intention, whether positive or negative, is undeniable. These weak links in the chain can be exploited, amplified, and used to control the flow of energy within the grid. That's where the snow moon comes in. It acts like a cosmic amplifier, intensifying existing vulnerabilities and making them impossible to ignore. It doesn't create the cracks, but it illuminates them, exposing the fault lines that already exist. If there's underlying anxiety in the collective, the snow moon can magnify it, leading to increased panic, irrational fears, and even erratic behavior. But remember, amplification works both ways. It can also amplify positive emotions, creating opportunities for collective healing, inspiration, and profound spiritual awakenings. The key is to be aware of these amplified energies and to consciously choose how you respond to them. This is where pattern recognition becomes crucial. Begin to recognize the connection between your personal energy field and the broader grid. Understand that by managing your own energy, by cultivating inner peace and resilience, you're actively contributing to the stability of the whole. When you meditate, for instance, you're not just calming your own mind, you're sending ripples of tranquility into the collective consciousness, helping to counterbalance the waves of anxiety and fear. When you practice compassion, you're strengthening the bonds of connection that hold the grid together. Your individual actions have a far greater impact than you might realize. Now let's dive deeper into the specific ways this snow moon might be impacting you right now. Are you experiencing any recurring symptoms? Keep an eye out for physiological manifestations like insomnia, where your sleep cycle becomes erratic, or vivid dreams and nightmares that leave you feeling unsettled. Increased anxiety, manifesting as a constant sense of unease, is also common, along with heart palpitations, headaches, dizziness, digestive issues, skin irritations, and even muscle tension. These aren't random ailments. They can be understood as physical responses to the amplified energies, driven by hormonal fluctuations or nervous system responses as your body struggles to adapt. Have you noticed an increase in tech glitches? Keep an eye out for power outages, even brief ones, communication disruptions affecting cell service or internet connectivity, satellite malfunctions impacting GPS accuracy, banking system glitches causing delays or errors in transactions, and even seemingly random car malfunctions. these technological hiccups aren't always coincidental. Solar flares and geomagnetic storms, often associated with full moons, can induce currents in electrical grids and damage sensitive electronic equipment, creating widespread disruptions. The science behind this is well established, yet it's often overlooked when we experience these inconveniences. And what about synchronicities? Are you seeing repeating numbers more frequently? 111, 222, 333, each carrying its own unique message? Are you encountering specific animals that seem to appear at just the right moment, each embodying a particular symbolic meaning? Are you receiving unexpected messages from friends, family, or even strangers, messages that seem to resonate deeply with your current situation? Are you experiencing meaningful coincidences, events that seem too perfectly aligned to be random? Or perhaps you're having prophetic dreams, dreams that offer glimpses into the future or provide insights into your subconscious mind. These synchronicities aren't just random occurrences. They're potential messages from the universe, guiding you towards greater self-awareness, a new path, or a deeper understanding of your purpose. Start journaling these experiences, paying close attention to the details and the emotions they evoke. The key is to recognize how these three phenomena, symptoms, glitches, and synchronicities, are interconnected. An increase in one often correlates with increases in the others. Imagine someone experiencing heightened anxiety due to the snow moon's amplified energies. They might also notice their electronics malfunctioning more frequently, perhaps their phone battery draining faster than usual or their computer freezing unexpectedly. At the same time, they might start seeing repeating numbers related to releasing fear and trusting the universe, a synchronicity offering guidance and reassurance amidst the chaos. These aren't isolated events, they're interconnected signals pointing towards a deeper underlying pattern. The interplay between your anxiety, the glitching devices, and numerical patterns shows a pattern of cosmic forces that are amplifying any personal feeling. What do you do to solve these problems? You must learn to navigate these amplified energies, to understand their purpose, and to harness their potential. So, where do you even begin? One of the most effective strategies is grounding, reconnecting to the earth, and stabilizing your energy. Simple techniques like walking barefoot on the earth, even for a few minutes each day, can make a profound difference. Spend time in nature, immersing yourself in the sights, sounds, and smells of the natural world. Try gardening, getting your hands dirty, and connecting with the life force of plants. Visualize roots extending from your feet deep into the earth, drawing energy from the planet and releasing any excess tension or anxiety. Taking salt baths can also help to discharge excess energy and restore balance to your electromagnetic field. These practices help to anchor you in the present moment, reducing the intensity of the amplified energies. Energy clearing is another essential tool. Practices like smudging with sage or Palo Santo can help to clear negative emotions and energetic attachments from your aura and your environment. Using crystals, each with its own unique energetic properties, can help to balance your chakras and amplify positive intentions. Visualize a protective shield of light surrounding yourself, deflecting any negative energies that might be directed your way. Practice Ho'oponopono, the ancient Hawaiian practice of forgiveness, repeating the phrases, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you," to clear any energetic cords that might be binding you to past traumas or negative relationships. Speaking of energetic cords, understand that these are invisible connections that link you to other people, places, and things. Learning how to consciously cut these cords, releasing any unhealthy attachments, can be incredibly liberating. And don't underestimate the power of mindfulness and meditation. Cultivating inner peace, even amidst external chaos, is essential for navigating these turbulent times. Practice guided meditations, focusing on your breath and allowing your thoughts to pass without judgment. Explore breathwork exercises, using specific breathing patterns to calm your nervous system and increase your energy flow. Try body scan meditation, bringing awareness to each part of your body and releasing any tension you might be holding. Practice loving-kindness meditation, sending feelings of compassion and goodwill to yourself and others. These practices help to calm the nervous system, increase self-awareness, and cultivate a sense of inner peace that transcends the external chaos. Critically, track your personal responses, your individual symptoms, glitches, and synchronicities to gain a deeper understanding of how the snow moon affects you specifically. Keep a journal, documenting your experiences and noting any patterns that emerge. The more you understand your own unique energetic signature, the better equipped you'll be to navigate these turbulent times and to harness the amplified energies for personal growth and spiritual awakening. But what if there's more to this story than just natural cosmic cycles? What if there are unseen forces at play, hidden agendas influencing the energy grid? Is the increasing frequency of solar flares just a coincidence? Or could something be triggering or amplifying them? Could certain technologies be used to exploit vulnerabilities in the energy grid for nefarious purposes? What about HAARP, for instance, and its alleged ability to manipulate weather patterns? Or the potential for cyber attacks to disrupt critical infrastructure? I'm not saying any of this is true, but it's important to be aware of the possibilities, to question the official narratives, and to maintain a healthy dose of skepticism. And what about the potential for both positive and negative influence on the energy grid through collective consciousness? We've already discussed the power of mass meditation to reduce crime rates and improve weather patterns. But what about the potential for mass hysteria or fear to create instability? Could certain groups be intentionally manipulating collective consciousness, spreading misinformation, and sowing discord to destabilize the grid? What are the ethics of influencing collective consciousness, and who gets to decide what's good or bad influence? The truth will shock you. The grid isn't just wires and power plants, it's you and everyone connected to you. And someone wants to control that connection. What do they want? What are they willing to do? And what can you do to stop them? Let's peel back another layer of this onion, starting with the technological grid that underpins so much of our modern lives. Reflect on the last 24 hours. How many times did you interact with technology? From your smartphone to your car, to the appliances in your home, our lives are saturated with devices that rely on a complex web of interconnected systems. This interdependence creates numerous failure points, vulnerabilities that can be exploited by cosmic events or malicious actors. Consider the supply chains that bring us these devices. A single disruption, whether it's a natural disaster or a geopolitical conflict, can cripple entire industries, leaving us without access to essential technologies. Note our dependence on satellites. Communication, GPS, weather forecasting, even financial transactions all rely on these fragile objects orbiting high above the Earth. A geomagnetic storm, a cyber attack, or even debris from a defunct satellite could knock out dozens of these critical assets, plunging us into a technological dark age. And ponder the critical infrastructure that powers our cities and towns. Power grids, hospitals, transportation systems, all are vulnerable to cyber attacks that could have devastating consequences. The Colonial Pipeline hack, for example, demonstrated how easily a single point of failure can disrupt the flow of energy and cripple an entire region. How would you cope if the power grid went down for days, weeks, or even months? Are you prepared to live without access to electricity, running water, or modern sanitation? Then there's the shadow side of connectivity, the ever-present surveillance, and the potential for manipulation. This highlights how social media algorithms are designed to exploit our emotions, feeding us a constant stream of sensationalized news and divisive content. It's crucial to recognize how data collection is used for social scoring, determining our access to credit, employment, and even social services. And what about an iPod propaganda, capable of generating realistic but entirely fabricated news stories and social media posts? Could this be used to influence elections, incite violence, or even trigger a global conflict? Are you ready to handle who or what might be watching you, What are you willing to do to protect your privacy and your freedom of thought? Central to this is understanding geomagnetic storms triggered by coronal mass ejections, CMEs, from the sun. These massive bursts of energy can wreak havoc on our technological infrastructure. A CME can induce powerful currents in electrical grids, overloading transformers and causing widespread blackouts. It can damage satellites, disrupting communication systems and GPS navigation. And it can disrupt radio communications, making it difficult to coordinate emergency response efforts. The Carrington event of 1859, the largest geomagnetic storm ever recorded, caused telegraph systems around the world to fail. A similar event today could have catastrophic consequences, costing trillions of dollars and disrupting every aspect of modern life. Therefore, personal resilience is paramount. Develop offline strategies for communication, navigation, and entertainment. Keep a physical map and compass in your car. Learn basic first aid and survival skills. Stock up on non-perishable food, water, and other essential supplies. Diversify your sources of information, relying on independent journalists and alternative media outlets. Use strong passwords, enable two-factor authentication, and limit your social media use. Recognize that your digital footprint is being tracked and analyzed, and take steps to protect your privacy. Cultivate offline skills and hobbies, rediscovering the joy of reading, writing, playing music, or spending time in nature. Now, let's turn our attention to the human grid, the interconnected web of emotions and spiritual energies that binds us together. The snow moon amplifies emotional contagion, the tendency for emotions to spread rapidly through a group. This highlights how fear and panic can spread like wildfire through social media, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of doom and despair. Also, it's crucial to understand that the snow moon's energy can trigger unresolved emotional issues, bringing buried traumas and suppressed feelings to the surface. Existing mental health conditions, such as anxiety and depression, can be exacerbated during this period, leading to increased rates of suicide and substance abuse. This isn't just about individual experiences. It ripples outwards into the collective. Furthermore, a critical point is the concept of the veil thinning. The veil between the physical and spiritual realms thins, leading to heightened intuition and psychic sensitivity. Some may experience vivid dreams, prophetic visions, or encounters with spiritual entities. Others may find themselves more attuned to the emotions and thoughts of those around them, experiencing a heightened sense of empathy or even telepathy. However, this increased sensitivity also makes us more vulnerable to negative influences. Discernment becomes essential, the ability to distinguish between genuine intuition and fear-based projections. Are you hearing the voice of your higher self, or the whispers of your own anxieties? This brings us to the dark side of spirituality, energetic vampirism, and encounters with shadow entities. Be aware that some individuals can drain the energy of others, leaving them feeling depleted and exhausted. These energetic vampires may not even be aware of what they're doing, but their presence can have a significant impact on your well-being. Recognize and protect yourself from negative influences, employing practices like cord cutting, shielding, and setting firm boundaries. Visualize a protective shield of light surrounding yourself, deflecting any negative energies that may be directed your way. Refuse to engage in gossip, negativity, or conflict. Therefore, personal empowerment through emotional regulation and spiritual protection is essential. Engage in specific breathing exercises such as box breathing or diaphragmatic breathing to calm your nervous system and reduce anxiety. Recite affirmations that reinforce your inner strength and resilience. Visualize yourself surrounded by a protective light, deflecting any negative energies that may be directed your way. Ground yourself through practices like earthing, spending time in nature, or visualizing roots extending from your feet into the earth. Connect with your higher self through meditation, prayer, or journaling. Set healthy boundaries in your relationships, refusing to tolerate disrespect, abuse, or manipulation. Prioritize self-care, ensuring that you're getting enough sleep, eating nutritious foods, and engaging in activities that bring you joy. But what if these disruptions aren't just natural occurrences? What if there are unseen forces at play, manipulating the energy grid for their own purposes? Be aware that government programs like HAARP have the potential for weather modification or energy manipulation, regardless of their stated intentions, and remember to emphasize speculation, not confirmation. Acknowledge the possibility of covert operations designed to destabilize the grid or influence collective consciousness. With this in mind, consider the mass manipulation techniques used to influence collective consciousness. Propaganda, fear-mongering, and division tactics can be employed to control populations, eroding trust in institutions and creating social unrest. Therefore, engage in critical thinking, questioning the narratives presented by mainstream media and seeking out alternative perspectives. Cultivate independent thought, refusing to be swayed by popular opinion or emotional appeals. Develop media literacy skills, learning how to identify bias, misinformation, and propaganda. This highlights historical patterns of control and resistance, drawing parallels between current events and past periods of societal unrest. Recognize that throughout history, those in power have used similar tactics to control populations, suppressing dissent, manipulating information, and exploiting economic vulnerabilities. Also, show how past generations navigated similar challenges, resisting oppression, fighting for freedom, and creating alternative systems of governance. What did they know? What did they do? And how can you carry on their work in your own life? What actions can you learn from significant seismic or volcanic events? What patterns of resistance can we observe? Ultimately, personal agency involves reclaiming sovereignty and shaping the future. Become an active participant in your community, supporting ethical businesses, advocating for positive change, and holding elected officials accountable. Support ethical businesses, rewarding companies that prioritize sustainability, fair labor practices, and social responsibility. Advocate for positive change, contacting your elected officials, participating in peaceful protests, and supporting organizations that are working to create a better world. Stress the power of collective action and conscious creation, recognizing that together we can create a more just, equitable, and sustainable future. Integrating these threads, tech, emotion, and unseen forces, we start to see how deeply interconnected they truly are. Recognize that a cyber attack on a critical infrastructure can trigger widespread anxiety and panic, which can then be exploited by manipulative forces to further their agendas. Acknowledge personal examples. Someone loses power, experiences anxiety, and then notices manipulative content online, all creating a feedback loop of fear and despair. That's why the power of intention cannot be overstated. Set clear intentions, visualizing desired outcomes, and aligning your actions with your values. Engage in collective intention experiments or mass meditations for positive change, amplifying the positive energies and counteracting the negative forces. How do you want to feel? How do you want your community to thrive? Focus on those intentions and let that drive your actions. Building community is also essential. Connect with like-minded individuals online or in person, sharing your experiences, offering each other support, and building collective resilience. Recognize that we're all in this together, and that by supporting each other, we can navigate these turbulent times with greater ease and grace. What's more, a call to action. Reclaim your power and contribute to the well-being of the whole. Ground yourself, clear your energy, protect yourself from manipulation, and support positive change in the world. Each action, no matter how small, sends ripples of positive energy into the energy grid, helping to counteract the forces of chaos and control. You've given your attention to this message, and that acknowledgement is powerful. This message resonates with your individual journey, and the snow moon offers a unique opportunity for growth and transformation. But it also calls you to face tough truths. What tough truths will you embrace? Envision a future where humanity has overcome the challenges of the energy grid disruption, emerging stronger, more resilient, and more spiritually awake. In this future, technology is used for good, emotions are regulated, and unseen forces are understood and respected. Can you see it? But know this, the universe is supporting you on your journey, and you have the power to create a positive future. You are not alone. You are part of a larger collective of conscious beings who are working towards a better world. Recognize that you are not alone. And speaking of not being alone, what comes next? What other cosmic alignments are on the horizon? What new challenges and opportunities will they bring? Could the next phase of the energy grid disruption be even more intense, requiring even greater awareness and resilience? To find out, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned, because the next revelation will change everything you thought you knew. What happens when these vulnerabilities are amplified? The snow moon, acting as a cosmic amplifier, exacerbates existing technological weaknesses. Imagine a pre-existing software glitch, dormant in a system. The snow moon's energy interacts with the system, causing the glitch to manifest as a major system failure, crippling essential services. Consider minor power fluctuations, usually harmless. Under the snow moon's influence, these fluctuations resonate, leading to widespread outages, plunging cities into darkness and disrupting critical infrastructure. Reflect on compromised data integrity. Normally manageable, now amplified by the snow moon, turning into a full-blown cybersecurity crisis, exposing sensitive information and eroding public trust. Have you considered how a cyber attack, normally contained, could cascade into multiple breaches, paralyzing businesses, government institutions, and even your personal finances? Think about specific technological failures that have occurred during past snow moons. News reports from February 2021 documented power grid failures in Texas, leaving millions without electricity during a severe winter storm. Experts attributed the failures to a combination of factors, including aging infrastructure and extreme weather. But could the snow moon have acted as a catalyst, amplifying these pre-existing vulnerabilities? Anecdotal evidence from online forums reveals reports of satellite communication disruptions during the snow moon of 2019, impacting GPS navigation and communication systems. Financial institutions experienced unexplained banking system glitches during the snow moon of 2018, causing transaction delays and account errors. Transportation systems malfunctioned during the snow moon of 2017, with reports of train derailments and flight delays attributed to equipment failures. Are these mere coincidences, or do they point to a pattern of resonance amplification? Now, what is the psychological impact of these technological disruptions? Prolonged power outages can trigger heightened anxiety, fear, and social unrest, especially in communities dependent on technology for basic needs. Communication disruptions can lead to feelings of isolation, helplessness, and panic, as individuals lose contact with loved ones and access to essential information. Financial instability caused by banking system glitches can create widespread economic hardship, eroding trust in institutions and fueling social tensions. Remember, our reliance on technology amplifies stress responses. The more dependent we are on these systems, the more vulnerable we become to their failures. Have you considered how the loss of internet access affects your ability to work, communicate, and access information? How would you cope if your bank accounts were frozen or your credit cards were declined? To build a more resilient technological infrastructure, we must invest in backup power systems, diversifying energy sources, and ensuring that critical facilities have access to reliable power during emergencies. Diversify communication networks. Create redundant systems, utilizing satellite, radio, and even old-fashioned landlines to ensure communication remains possible even when primary systems fail. Improve cybersecurity measures. Invest in stronger firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and employee training to protect against cyber attacks. Decentralize critical infrastructure. Disperse key resources and services across multiple locations to reduce the impact of a single point of failure. Imagine a network of community-based microgrids, powered by renewable energy sources, providing localized power during outages. Envision citizen science initiatives, monitoring geomagnetic activity and its potential impact on technological systems. But what about the emotional and spiritual turmoil? The snow moon can tap into the collective unconscious, amplifying shared emotions. Picture increased anxiety, fear, anger, and grief in response to global events, all amplified by social media and mass media. The snow moon acts like a mirror, reflecting back to us our deepest fears and unresolved traumas. Those unresolved issues, simmering beneath the surface, now boil over, creating emotional chaos and distress. For those with heightened spiritual sensitivity, the snow moon can lead to both profound insights and energetic overload. Vivid dreams filled with symbolic imagery can offer guidance and clarity, but they can also overwhelm the senses and disrupt sleep patterns. Prophetic visions can provide glimpses into the future, but they can also trigger anxiety and fear about what's to come. Encounters with spiritual entities can be transformative, but they can also be unsettling and disorienting. How do you discern between genuine intuition and fear-based projections when the veil between worlds thins, blurring the lines between reality and illusion? Grounding practices become essential, connecting you to the Earth's energy and providing stability during turbulent times. Shielding techniques protect you from negative energies, creating a barrier between you and the chaos. Are you taking the necessary steps to protect yourself from energetic overload, to discern between genuine intuition and fear-based projections? Dive deeper into the shadow self. The snow moon triggers the emergence of repressed emotions, fears, and traumas, forcing us to confront the aspects of ourselves that we've long denied or ignored. Imagine sudden outbursts of anger, seemingly out of nowhere, revealing underlying resentments and frustrations. Irrational fears surface, holding you back from pursuing your dreams and living your full potential. Self-sabotaging behaviors emerge, undermining your efforts to create positive change in your life. What repressed emotions, fears, and traumas are lurking in your shadow self, waiting to be brought to light? Embrace self-compassion, forgiveness, and seek professional help when needed. Remember, self-awareness is the first step toward healing and transformation. How do you cultivate inner resilience? Advanced breathing exercises can regulate the nervous system and reduce anxiety, providing a sense of calm and control during stressful situations. Mindfulness practices help you stay present in the moment, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Visualizations can create a sense of inner peace and strength, empowering you to navigate challenging situations with grace and resilience. Techniques for cord cutting, shielding, and setting energetic boundaries protect you from negative influences, maintaining your energetic integrity and preventing energy depletion. Practices for connecting with your higher self can provide guidance and inspiration, helping you stay aligned with your purpose and values. Have you integrated these practices into your daily routine, making them a consistent part of your self-care regimen? What if the energy grid is actually a battleground, unseen forces vying for control and influence? Consider the speculation on government programs like HAARP and their potential for weather manipulation or energy manipulation. Imagine covert operations designed to destabilize the grid or influence collective consciousness. iPod propaganda and social engineering could be used to manipulate populations, eroding trust in institutions and inciting violence. The stakes are far higher than most people realize. Throughout history, there have been patterns of control and resistance. Think of specific historical events or figures who challenged the status quo and fought for freedom and autonomy. Remember the use of propaganda, censorship, and violence to suppress dissent. Do you see these patterns repeating today in new and more sophisticated forms? The power of collective intention can reclaim the narrative and shape a more positive future. Therefore, reclaim your personal sovereignty. Specific actions you can take include disengaging from manipulative systems, limiting your exposure to mainstream media, and seeking out alternative sources of information. Cultivate critical thinking skills, questioning the narratives presented by those in power and developing your own informed opinions. Connect with your inner wisdom through meditation, prayer, or spending time in nature, accessing your own inner guidance and intuition. Integrating technology, emotions, spirituality, and unseen forces, acknowledge the interconnectedness of all things. The technological grid affects emotions, emotions influence spirituality, and unseen forces influence them all. Amplify this resonance amplification pattern. Recognize early warning signs of technological disruptions, emotional overwhelm, and spiritual attack. Take proactive steps to mitigate these vulnerabilities and build resilience. This isn't just about surviving the snow moon. It's about thriving in a world that's constantly changing. But what about the next phase? What challenges lie ahead? What new opportunities will emerge? Could the next phase of the energy grid disruption be even more intense, requiring even greater awareness, resilience, and collective action? Stay tuned to discover the answers. Subscribe now and prepare to be shocked. Because what comes next will challenge everything you think you know. What does disruption to the global energy grid really mean? It's far more than just a power outage, those inconvenient blackouts we've all experienced. Think of it as a systemic unraveling, a domino effect where one failure triggers another, and another, until the entire interconnected web begins to fray. A cyber attack on a major bank isn't just about stolen data. It's about eroding trust in the financial system, triggering panic withdrawals, and potentially collapsing entire economies. A massive solar flare knocking out internet satellites doesn't simply mean no more cat videos. It means a breakdown in global communication, hindering emergency services, disrupting supply chains, and inciting social unrest. And a breakdown in societal trust. That's the erosion of the social grid itself, where people lose faith in institutions, in each other, and in the very fabric of society. Have you considered how easily manipulated that trust can be, and how quickly it can crumble under the weight of misinformation and fear? These aren't isolated incidents, they're cascading failures. A power outage cripples communication, hindering emergency response, which fans the flames of emotional panic and social unrest, leading to further economic instability. Imagine a scenario where a geomagnetic storm takes down the internet. Hospitals lose access to patient records, hindering medical care. Businesses can't process transactions, crippling the economy. Emergency services struggle to coordinate, leaving communities vulnerable. The elderly and those dependent on life-sustaining equipment are left stranded. The key is understanding that these seemingly disparate systems are intricately linked, creating a vulnerability we must acknowledge and address. The further we get pulled away from localized systems and solutions, the more vulnerable we are to this global collapse. What measures have you taken to ensure your independence from these systems? Personally, this can manifest as heightened sensitivity. You might find yourself overwhelmed by noise, light, or the constant hum of EMFs. Disorientation becomes commonplace, a persistent brain fog clouding your thoughts and making it difficult to concentrate. You feel ungrounded, disconnected from the earth and from yourself, as if your energy field is constantly flickering. This isn't just anxiety. It's a direct response to the instability of the global energy grid, your body's natural antenna picking up on the chaotic frequencies. The human energy field, that invisible matrix that surrounds and permeates your being, is constantly interacting with the environment, and when the grid fluctuates, your own energy field can be thrown into disarray. Have you noticed these sensations intensifying lately? A subtle but undeniable unease that seems to linger just beneath the surface. Could a subtle geomagnetic reversal be underway? This fringe theory suggests the Earth's magnetic poles are subtly shifting, causing fluctuations in the planet's energy field. While scientists debate the specifics, some believe this could be influencing human consciousness, impacting our emotions, thoughts, and even our connection to the spiritual realm. Could this be subtly affecting the global energy grid in ways we don't yet fully understand? Is this shift a natural occurrence, a cyclical event in Earth's history, or is something else at play? What about HAARP? The High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Is it a harmless research facility studying the ionosphere, or a secret weapon capable of manipulating weather and mind control? The truth is complex. HAARP uses high-frequency radio waves to study the ionosphere, the electrically charged layer of the atmosphere. Scientists claim it's for understanding radio communications and satellite navigation. Conspiracy theorists, however, believe HAARP can trigger earthquakes, control weather patterns, and even manipulate human thoughts and emotions. While there's no scientific evidence to support these claims, the very existence of such a powerful technology raises ethical questions. Could HAARP or similar technologies be used for nefarious purposes, intentionally disrupting the global energy grid? Beyond HAARP, what other potential technologies could be weaponized to influence the energy grid? Directed energy weapons, capable of delivering focused beams of energy, could disrupt power grids and communication systems. Advanced AI systems, with the ability to analyze vast amounts of data, could be used to manipulate markets, spread propaganda, and even predict and control human behavior. And mind control technologies, while still largely theoretical, could potentially be used to influence collective consciousness on a mass scale. While this may sound like science fiction, the rapid pace of technological advancement demands we consider the ethical implications. Are we prepared for the potential misuse of these technologies, the possibility of them being used to manipulate the energy grid and control the masses? The manipulation of consciousness is already happening through mass media and social media. These platforms are powerful tools for shaping public opinion, influencing emotions, and controlling the narrative. Propaganda, fear-mongering, and division tactics are used to manipulate collective consciousness and maintain control. Specific examples of news stories crafted to incite fear, social media campaigns designed to divide populations, algorithms that filter information based on predetermined biases. Every click, every share, every comment shapes our perception of reality, subtly influencing the energy grid. Are you aware of the subtle ways your thoughts and emotions are being influenced by these platforms, the constant barrage of information designed to keep you in a state of fear and division? The false light, a concept that suggests some seemingly benevolent spiritual forces, might actually be manipulative. This is an advanced topic, delving into esoteric concepts. Are you familiar with spiritual deception, the idea that not all ascended masters or channeled entities have your best interests at heart? Some believe these forces can manipulate the energy grid by subtly steering humanity away from its true potential, promoting a distorted version of love and light that ultimately serves their own agenda. The key is discernment, to trust your intuition and question everything, even those who appear to be offering enlightenment. Are you ready to handle who or what might be watching you? How do we reclaim our personal energy field? Advanced grounding exercises, connecting you to the Earth's energy, shielding techniques that create a protective barrier around your aura, cord-cutting rituals to sever energetic ties with toxic people and situations, affirmations for self-empowerment to reinforce your inner strength and resilience. Identify and remove energetic parasites, entities that drain your energy and feed off your emotions. Visualize a golden light surrounding you, protecting you from negative influences. Practice deep breathing exercises to calm your nervous system and center your energy. The more practiced and intentional you are, the more resilient you will be. Are you taking these steps to safeguard your energy, to protect yourself from the unseen forces at play? Building a localized grid of resilient communities less dependent on the centralized energy grid. Setting up community gardens, creating local currency systems, establishing mutual aid networks, developing off-grid energy solutions, sharing resources and skills, and supporting local businesses. Imagine a network of interconnected communities, each self-sufficient and resilient, able to withstand disruptions to the centralized grid. Envision neighbors helping neighbors, sharing food, water, and resources during times of crisis. These pockets of resilience can act as anchors of stability. Are you actively building these localized connections, creating a safety net for yourself and your community? Conscious communication and critical thinking are essential for navigating the energy grid disruption. Develop media literacy skills, questioning the narratives presented by mainstream media. Seek out diverse sources of information, engaging in respectful dialogue with others, and practicing active listening. Resist the urge to react emotionally, take a step back, and analyze the information critically. Fact-check claims, identify biases, and consider alternative perspectives. Are you practicing conscious communication, engaging in respectful dialogue, and seeking out diverse sources of information? Harness the power of collective intention to co-create a more positive future. Gather with like-minded individuals, visualize a world of peace, harmony, and abundance. Focus your thoughts and emotions on positive outcomes, amplifying the power of your intentions. Believe in the possibility of creating a better world. Take action, contributing your unique talents and skills to the collective good. Are you actively participating in this intentional co-creation, aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the vision of a brighter future? Consider the Carrington event of 1859, a massive solar storm. Telegraph systems failed worldwide, sparking fires and shocking operators. A similar event today could cripple our modern communication infrastructure, causing widespread chaos and disruption. The widespread telegraph system failures caused by the Carrington event. A similar event today could cripple our modern communication infrastructure, causing widespread chaos and disruption. Could this be a preview of what's to come, a stark reminder of our vulnerability to cosmic events? Throughout history, societies have experienced shifts and upheavals during periods of heightened geomagnetic activity. Could these historical events be linked to cosmic cycles, reflecting the influence of geomagnetic storms on human behavior and societal structures? Consider prophetic dreams and visions, glimpses into the future. They are not always literal, but they offer insights into potential timelines and future events. People all over the world are reporting vivid dreams of technological failures, social unrest, and environmental disasters. Are these glimpses into a possible future? From energy grid disruption emerges transformation and spiritual awakening, a world where humanity is more resilient, connected, and conscious. Technology serves humanity, not the other way around. Emotions are understood and harnessed for good. Spirituality is integrated into daily life. This is not just a dream, it's a potential reality waiting to be co-created. Are you ready to step into this new age, to embrace the transformation and awakening that lies ahead? 2025 and beyond may bring even more intense cosmic activity, with the upcoming solar maximum promising heightened solar flares and geomagnetic storms. What impact will this have on the energy grid, on our technology, on our lives? Consider the upcoming Mars retrograde, which could mark the beginning of a new phase of the energy grid disruption. What new challenges and opportunities will this bring? Is this chaos avoidable? The secret history of the energy grid has been deliberately suppressed. What truths are being hidden, and what can we learn from uncovering this suppressed knowledge? But what if we are not alone? Are extraterrestrial forces involved in the energy grid disruption, either positively or negatively? Is this a battle for control of the planet's energy, a cosmic game being played out on a global scale? What if there are benevolent beings offering assistance, helping us navigate this turbulent time, or malevolent forces seeking to control and manipulate us? It's something to consider. The snow moon, a celestial amplifier, intensifying existing technological frailties, deepening emotional anxieties, and heightening spiritual sensitivities within the global energy grid. We've seen how pre-existing power grid issues get exponentially worse. Anxieties around job security morph into full-blown panic, and a sense of spiritual unease blossoms into existential dread. But what if this amplification isn't just a natural phenomenon? What if it's something more sinister? Is it simply bad luck that the global energy grid seems to be fraying at every seam, or is something else at play, some unseen hand deliberately pulling the strings? What if some individuals or groups seek to control the grid, to weaponize its vulnerabilities for their own benefit, manipulating global systems to enslave the masses and centralize power? Consider economic instability, a tool of control disguised as market forces. Could actions like creating artificial inflation, deliberately disrupting supply chains through manufactured crises, or manipulating stock markets with insider trading be tools to deliberately destabilize the global energy grid? Imagine engineered food shortages, strategically implemented to trigger mass panic and dependency on centralized systems controlled by a select few. Picture the deliberate collapse of small businesses, replaced by megacorporations that dictate every aspect of our lives. These aren't just economic trends, but potential manipulations designed to weaken our collective resilience and force us into submission. Are you noticing these patterns, the deliberate dismantling of independent systems, the calculated creation of dependency? And what about emotional polarization, the divide-and-conquer strategy amplified by social media algorithms? How are these algorithms weaponized to push people into ideological extremes, creating echo chambers where dissenting voices are silenced and hatred festers? Think of the constant stream of inflammatory content, designed to trigger emotional reactions and pit us against each other, neighbor against neighbor, family member against family member. This isn't just a societal trend, it's a deliberate strategy to weaken the global energy grid by eroding social cohesion, making a divided society far more vulnerable to manipulation and control. Are you actively resisting this polarization, seeking out diverse perspectives, and engaging in respectful dialogue with those who hold different beliefs? Now, let's delve into the realm of shadow technologies, tools of manipulation hidden in plain sight. What about HAARP, the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program? While the details are often speculative and shrouded in secrecy, could HAARP be used to manipulate weather patterns, creating localized disasters that destabilize the global energy grid? Imagine targeted droughts, engineered floods, and artificially intensified storms, all designed to disrupt agriculture, displace populations, and create chaos. What if HAARP is only the tip of the iceberg, a glimpse into a world of advanced technologies capable of manipulating our environment and even our minds? Could the increase in natural disasters be organically generated, or are these events being triggered? And then there are directed energy weapons, DEWs. Are the unexplained wildfires raging across the globe simply the result of climate change? Or could they be the result of something far more sinister, the deliberate targeting of critical infrastructure and natural resources? Imagine DEWs used to target power grids, communication networks, and transportation hubs, crippling entire cities and regions. These weapons could even induce emotional distress in targeted populations, creating widespread panic and fear. Are you noticing the increasing frequency of unexplained fires, the sudden collapses of infrastructure, and the strange anomalies that defy simple explanation? Consider artificial intelligence, AI, and predictive policing algorithms. How are these technologies being used to manipulate public opinion, suppress dissent, and manufacture consent for government policies? Think of iPod surveillance systems, capable of tracking and monitoring every aspect of our lives, creating a chilling effect on free speech and independent thought. Imagine AI used to create deepfake events, fabricated crises designed to destabilize society and justify draconian measures. These technologies are not just tools for law enforcement, but instruments of control, capable of shaping our perceptions of reality and manipulating our behavior. Are you aware of the subtle ways AI is influencing your decisions, your beliefs, and your understanding of the world? Don't forget sonic and EMF weapons, the hidden assault on our senses. Could these weapons be used for crowd control, psychological manipulation, or even physical harm. Think of the Havana Syndrome incidents, the mysterious illnesses suffered by diplomats, potentially caused by microwave weapons targeting their brains. Imagine EMFs from cell towers and other devices subtly influencing our consciousness, creating anxiety, depression, and even physical ailments. These technologies are not just tools for law enforcement, but instruments of silent warfare, capable of impacting our health, our minds, and our very reality. Are you feeling the subtle vibrations, the constant hum of EMFs, the nagging sense of unease that seems to permeate the air? The global energy grid isn't just about technology. It's about us, the human element, and our internal vulnerabilities are under attack. Subliminal programming, the assault on the subconscious, bypassing conscious awareness and influencing behavior at a deeper level. Think of subliminal messages in advertising, music, and film, promoting consumerism, conformity, or even violence. Imagine governments or corporations using subliminal programming to manipulate public opinion, control behavior, and erode our free will. This constant barrage of subtle messaging can shape our desires, our beliefs, and our actions without us even realizing it. Are you aware of the subtle messages you're receiving, the hidden agendas being pushed, the unseen forces shaping your reality? What about nutritional deficiencies, weakening the body-mind connection and making us more vulnerable to manipulation? How do processed foods, sugar, and a lack of essential nutrients weaken the immune system, impair cognitive function, and increase susceptibility to emotional distress and mental illness? Imagine governments or corporations deliberately promoting unhealthy diets, poisoning our food supply, and weakening the population from within. This isn't just about personal health, it's about collective resilience, our ability to resist manipulation and control. Are you nourishing your body and mind with wholesome foods, protecting yourself from the toxic influences of the modern diet? And then there's the disturbing topic of trauma-based mind control. While controversial and deeply disturbing, it's important to acknowledge its potential existence. How does extreme trauma affect a human being, shattering their psyche and creating alters or programmed individuals who can be used for nefarious purposes? Imagine individuals being deliberately traumatized, their minds fractured and reprogrammed to carry out specific missions, to act as puppets for those in power. This is a dark and unsettling reality, but one that we must be aware of, however horrific it may be. Does the fact that you find this idea disturbing make it any less real? All of this manipulation of the energy grid as a form of spiritual warfare, with unseen forces battling for the souls of humanity. How can we view manipulation techniques as spiritual attacks, designed to sever our connection to the divine, to erode our faith, and to enslave our souls? Are we caught in a cosmic battle, a struggle between light and darkness, where our very consciousness is the prize? Are you prepared to defend your spirit, to protect your soul from the unseen forces at play? But there is always hope. We build resilience through a multi-pronged defense, promote technological independence through decentralization and open-source alternatives, build community mesh networks, use encrypted communication tools, and develop open-source software. How can we create our own independent technological infrastructure, free from the control of corporations and governments? Emphasize emotional regulation through mindfulness, meditation, and self-awareness. Practice daily meditation, engage in deep breathing exercises, and develop emotional intelligence. How can we learn to recognize and manage our emotions, rather than being controlled by them? Guide viewers on cultivating spiritual sovereignty through discernment, protection, and connection to their higher selves. Develop critical thinking skills, practice spiritual discernment, and connect with one's intuition. How can we learn to protect ourselves from negative energies and connect with the divine source? Reinforce the importance of community building through mutual aid and collaboration. Set up community gardens, establish local currency systems, create mutual aid networks, and develop off-grid energy solutions. How can we come together to support each other through the crisis, But what could lie ahead? What future portents should we be aware of? Consider the theory of a solar flash event, a massive burst of energy from the sun that could cause widespread technological disruptions and trigger a spiritual awakening. Could such an event dwarf the current snow-moon disruption? What if a solar flash event is not a matter of if, but when? What would this event do to the global energy grid? What about the possibility of a geomagnetic excursion, a period of rapid and dramatic change in the Earth's magnetic field? What would these events mean for the global energy grid, for our technology, for our very existence? Could the magnetic poles shift, creating chaos and disruption on a global scale? Has our planet shifted poles many times throughout history? And what about the possibility, without endorsing, that extraterrestrial forces may be involved in the energy grid disruption, either positively or negatively? Are there signs of extraterrestrial influence, subtle clues that point to a larger cosmic game being played out on Earth? Is this a battle for control of the planet's energy, a struggle between benevolent and malevolent forces? Have we even considered the possibility that the energy grid extends far beyond our planet? Are you ready? This is a final call to action, urging you to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and technologically for the challenges ahead. The choice is yours. Will you be a victim of the energy grid disruption, or will you become a resilient, empowered agent of change? But what if the disruption we are currently experiencing is simply a prelude to something far greater, a much larger and more profound shift in the fabric of reality? What ancient prophecy has been warning us about this moment? And what role will you play in the unfolding of this cosmic drama? But before we can arm ourselves for the cosmic battle ahead, we must recognize a more insidious threat already among us: energy vampires. These aren't creatures of the night with fangs, but individuals and even entities that feed on your life force, draining your energy and weakening your connection to the global energy grid. Are you unknowingly surrounded by these energetic parasites, their influence subtly sabotaging your well-being? Energy vampires come in many forms, both human and non-human. The human ones are often masters of manipulation, using tactics like constant complaining, guilt-tripping, or creating drama to draw your energy. Think of the coworker who always has a crisis, the friend who constantly seeks reassurance but never offers it in return, or the family member who thrives on stirring up conflict. These individuals unconsciously, or sometimes consciously, siphon your energy, leaving you feeling drained, exhausted, and emotionally depleted. How many of these patterns do you recognize in your own relationships? The subtle yet persistent drain on your vitality. But beyond the human realm lurks another, more sinister variety of energy vampire: spiritual entities that feed on the collective human energy field. The shocking truth is that these entities thrive in environments of fear, negativity, and low vibration, and the weakened global energy grid acts as an Alaukinat buffet for their insatiable hunger. Consider that low societal mood, widespread fear, and chronic stress act as beacons, drawing these parasitic entities closer and strengthening their grip on our world. What if the amplification of negativity we're experiencing is not just a natural byproduct of the snow moon, but a deliberate feeding frenzy orchestrated by these unseen forces? This feeding frenzy directly impacts your chakra system, the energetic centers within your body that govern your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. When energy vampires attack, they create blockages in these chakras, leading to a cascade of negative symptoms. Imagine your root chakra, the foundation of your security and survival, being targeted by fear-mongering news and economic anxieties. This blockage manifests as chronic anxiety, financial instability, and a feeling of being constantly on edge. Then there's your solar plexus chakra, the center of your personal power and self-esteem, being bombarded by criticism, judgment, and self-doubt. A blocked solar plexus leads to low self-confidence, feelings of helplessness, and a tendency to be easily manipulated by others. And what of your heart chakra, the seat of love, compassion, and connection, being wounded by betrayal, heartbreak, and social isolation. A blocked heart chakra manifests as difficulty forming meaningful relationships, a lack of empathy, and a sense of being disconnected from humanity. What specific symptoms are you experiencing in your own body, the telltale signs of chakra blockages caused by energy vampires? But you are not powerless against these energetic attacks. You can reclaim your energy and shield yourself from their influence. First, learn to identify the telltale signs of an energy vampire, paying attention to how you feel after interacting with certain people or consuming certain media. If you consistently feel drained, depleted, or emotionally triggered after being around someone or something, that's a red flag. Next, establish clear energetic boundaries. Visualize a protective shield of light surrounding you, deflecting negative energy and allowing only positive influences to penetrate. Practice saying no to demands on your time and energy that don't align with your values or priorities. Then, actively clear and balance your chakras through meditation, yoga, or energy healing techniques. Visualize each chakra spinning freely and brightly, radiating positive energy and repelling negativity. Use specific crystals and essential oils known for their protective properties, such as black tourmaline, obsidian, and frankincense. The shocking truth is that you are a powerful energetic being, capable of defending yourself against even the most insidious attacks. Will you claim your power and protect your energy, or will you continue to be a victim of these unseen forces? But the threat to the global energy grid extends far beyond individual energy vampires. We face an even more insidious and pervasive danger in the form of cyber warfare. But this isn't just about hacking into computer systems. It's about manipulating the technological grid to control populations, sow discord, and destabilize society. Are you aware of the advanced cyber warfare tactics being used against you, the subtle ways your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are being manipulated through technology? These advanced tactics include disinformation campaigns, social engineering, and the manipulation of algorithms. Imagine AI-powered bots flooding social media with propaganda, creating false narratives, and inciting hatred and division. Picture deepfakes, fabricated videos, and audio recordings being used to discredit political figures, spread misinformation, and manipulate public opinion. Then there's the insidious manipulation of algorithms, designed to push people into ideological extremes, creating echo chambers where dissenting voices are silenced and hatred festers. What happens when the information you consume is carefully curated to reinforce your existing beliefs, blinding you to alternative perspectives and trapping you in a self-reinforcing cycle of bias? The Internet of Things, IoT, has also emerged as a security nightmare. How vulnerable are these devices that surround you, all connected to the Internet, constantly collecting data and transmitting information? Could hackers exploit these vulnerabilities to gain control of smart devices, infrastructure, and even critical systems, plunging entire cities into chaos? Imagine hackers taking control of smart cars, causing accidents and disrupting transportation. Picture hackers shutting down power grids, plunging entire regions into darkness. And think of hackers gaining access to medical devices, endangering the lives of patients dependent on life-sustaining equipment. Are you taking the necessary steps to secure your devices, protect your privacy, and minimize your vulnerability to cyber attacks? The ultimate nightmare scenario is an electromagnetic pulse, EMP, attack, either from a solar flare or a weapon. EMPs possess the potential to cripple electronic infrastructure, plunging society into a technological dark age. Think of the cascading effects of such an event: the collapse of communication networks, the failure of transportation systems, the disruption of food and water supplies, and the breakdown of law and order. Are you prepared for such a catastrophic event, both practically and mentally? But even against these threats, resilience can be built and sustained. There are things you can do to defend the digital frontier by improving cybersecurity and building digital resilience at both the individual and collective levels. Start by using strong, unique passwords for all your online accounts, and enabling two-factor authentication wherever possible. Keep your software up to date, patching security vulnerabilities as soon as they are discovered. Support open-source software and decentralized technologies that are less vulnerable to attack. The shocking truth is that we can create a more secure and resilient digital world, but it requires awareness, vigilance, and collective action. Will you take the necessary steps to protect yourself, your community, and the global energy grid from cyber warfare? Ultimately, defending the grid comes down to responsibility, a moral choice that each individual must make. You are a part of the global energy grid, and you have a responsibility to maintain its stability and integrity. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions have a ripple effect, influencing the grid both positively and negatively. What if every act of kindness, every positive thought, every conscious choice contributes to the well-being of the entire planet? Consider the butterfly effect. Every small action, no matter how insignificant it may seem, can have a significant impact on the global energy grid. A smile, a helping hand, a conscious decision to reduce your carbon footprint, these seemingly insignificant acts can create a wave of positivity that spreads throughout the world. Are you mindful of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, choosing those that promote positivity, compassion, and resilience? We must all commit to breaking the cycle of fear and anxiety. It weakens the global energy grid, and to choose hope and empowerment instead. Meditate to manage your anxiety and cultivate inner peace and connect with your higher self. Engage in activities that bring you joy, inspire you, and connect you with others. The shocking truth is that we have the power to choose our emotional state, to break free from the grip of fear, and to create a more positive reality. Are you actively choosing hope and empowerment, or are you allowing fear and anxiety to control your life? But real lasting impact happens with the power of collective action to create a new reality based on cooperation, compassion, and sustainability. Joining forces with others to build resilient communities, promote ethical businesses, and advocate for positive change are fundamental actions. Support grassroots movements and citizen-led initiatives. Are you joining forces with others to create a better world, or are you standing on the sidelines, waiting for someone else to take action? To do this, it helps to know our history. Some historical events may have been deliberately orchestrated to manipulate the global energy grid. Economic depressions, wars, and social upheavals viewed through the lens of energy manipulation, with outside actors possibly playing a role in causing or exacerbating these events. Are you critically thinking about historical narratives, questioning official explanations, and seeking out alternative perspectives? Consider predictive programming, the subtle conditioning of the public through movies, television, and other media to accept future events or outcomes. What movies have subtly prepared you for the events unfolding right now? What are the powers that be trying to normalize? What outcomes are these media shaping? These ancient patterns of control and manipulation echo throughout history. From ancient empires using propaganda, economic warfare, and military force to dominate populations and control resources, to modern manifestations of control, such as global corporations, government surveillance programs, and social media manipulation. Are you recognizing these patterns, connecting the dots between ancient tactics and modern manifestations of control? Ultimately, the snow moon disruption is a catalyst for clearing away old patterns of control and manipulation, and paving the way for a new era of freedom, sovereignty, and collective consciousness. The current challenges are opportunities for growth, transformation, and the creation of a more positive future. But what does that future hold, and what hidden truths remain to be uncovered? Upcoming cosmic alignments, planetary conjunctions, eclipses, what effect will these events have on the global grid? Could these events be a trigger for a great awakening, or will the grid destabilize even further? What happens if the truth about extraterrestrial life is revealed? What are the implications of disclosure or deception? And what if these beings have been manipulating the grid this whole time? Regardless of the events that transpire in the days ahead, always remember to connect directly to Source, bypass the noise of intermediaries, and reclaim one's spiritual sovereignty. A choice is coming. Will you be ready? Will you succumb to fear and manipulation, or will you embrace your power, connect with your inner guidance, and co-create a more positive future? But the manipulation doesn't stop there. What if the powers that be aren't just content with influencing your behavior, but seek to directly control your thoughts? We're moving beyond subliminal messages and entering the realm of targeted brainwave entrainment, where technology is used to induce specific emotional states or behavioral changes in a mass audience. Imagine a world where specific frequencies delivered through sound or light are used to subtly manipulate your mood, amplify your fears, or even trigger specific actions. The ethical implications are staggering. Who decides which frequencies are used, and for what purpose? Is it possible that governments or corporations are already using this technology to influence our collective consciousness? And if so, what can we do about it? Technologies like binaural beats and isochronic tones are already widely available. Could these be weaponized, their subtle influence amplified through the global energy grid to create mass compliance or mass hysteria? Are you aware of the subtle ways sound and light are being used to influence your emotional state? And are you taking steps to protect your mind from this insidious form of control? But the rabbit hole goes even deeper. What if technology existed that could remotely monitor and even influence your brain activity from a distance? The theoretical possibility of remote neural monitoring raises terrifying questions about privacy and autonomy. Could governments or corporations use satellites or advanced ground-based technology to track our thoughts, monitor our emotional states, and even implant suggestions directly into our minds? It sounds like science fiction, but advancements in neuroscience and nanotechnology are rapidly blurring the lines between what is possible and what is not. And what about synthetic telepathy, the ability to transmit thoughts or voices directly into someone's head using advanced technology? Is it possible to create a device that can read your thoughts and then broadcast them to someone else, bypassing the need for verbal communication? The implications are staggering. Imagine the potential for manipulation, control, and even psychological warfare if such technology fell into the wrong hands. Are you ready to handle who or what might be watching you, listening to you, influencing you? So how do we protect our minds from these external influences? The first line of defense is awareness. Be critical of the information you consume, question everything, and don't blindly accept what you are told. Develop strong critical thinking skills and learn to identify logical fallacies, propaganda techniques, and other forms of manipulation. Limit your exposure to mainstream media, seek out alternative sources of information, and cultivate a healthy skepticism towards all claims, regardless of their source. Shielding techniques also work. Practice mindfulness and meditation to quiet your mind and become more aware of your thoughts and emotions. Visualize a protective shield of light surrounding your mind, deflecting negative influences and allowing only positive thoughts to enter. Use crystals, such as amethyst and clear quartz, known for their protective and clarifying properties. Maintain a healthy lifestyle, including a balanced diet, regular exercise, and adequate sleep. A healthy body supports a healthy mind, making you more resilient to external influences. Remember, your mind is your most valuable asset. Protect it fiercely. Are you taking the necessary steps to safeguard your mental sovereignty, or are you allowing yourself to be a pawn in someone else's game? Now, let's step back and zoom out. Envision Earth not just as a physical planet, but as being enveloped by a sphere of human thought, the noosphere. Coined by Vladimir Vernadsky and popularized by Teilhard de Chardin, the noosphere is the sphere of human consciousness, encompassing all our thoughts, ideas, and information. It's a collective mental environment that surrounds the globe, influenced by every single one of us. And the snow moon, with its amplified energies, could be acting like a magnifying glass, intensifying both the positive and negative aspects of this global consciousness. What if our collective thoughts and emotions are not just abstract concepts, but tangible forces that shape our reality? But just as the physical environment can be polluted, so too can the noosphere. Negative thoughts, emotions, and beliefs can create a toxic mental environment that negatively affects everyone. Think of the constant barrage of fear-mongering news, the relentless stream of hate speech online, and the pervasive spread of disinformation. These negative energies pollute the noosphere, creating a climate of anxiety, distrust, and division. And just as energy vampires feed on individual energy, these negative forces feed on the collective consciousness, weakening the global energy grid and making us more susceptible to manipulation. The question then becomes, are you aware of the impact of your own thoughts and emotions on the noosphere? And are you taking responsibility for the energy you are putting out into the world? But what if the noosphere is being intentionally manipulated to create global problems? What if powerful individuals or groups are deliberately sowing seeds of discord, fear, and negativity to destabilize society and advance their own agendas? Propaganda, psychological warfare, and social engineering could be used to influence collective consciousness and manipulate the noosphere. Social media algorithms are being used to amplify divisive content, create echo chambers, and radicalize individuals. Economic policies are being used to create inequality, fuel resentment, and destabilize financial systems. Wars and conflicts are being used to create fear, chaos, and division, distracting people from the real issues and consolidating power in the hands of a few. Are you recognizing these patterns of manipulation, and are you actively resisting their influence? However, we are not powerless in the face of this manipulation. We have the power to create a positive noosphere and manifest a more desirable future. By consciously choosing positive thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, we can contribute to a more harmonious and balanced global consciousness. By practicing compassion, kindness, and empathy, we can heal the wounds of division and create a more connected and unified world. By visualizing a positive future, we can attract positive outcomes and manifest our collective desires. And by aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with our highest values, we can create a life of purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. What if, through conscious effort, we could create a ripple effect of positivity that transforms the world? Speaking of transforming the world, what if you could bend reality to your will? This is the promise of chaos magic, a modern form of magic that emphasizes experimentation, individual empowerment, and the ability to create one's own reality. Chaos magicians believe that reality is fluid and malleable, and that with the right techniques, you can influence the quantum field and manifest your desires. It's about taking responsibility for your reality. At the heart of chaos magic lies the use of sigils and symbols to program the subconscious mind and influence reality. Sigils are symbolic representations of your desires, created through a process of condensing and abstracting your intentions. By focusing on these sigils, you bypass the conscious mind and directly program your subconscious, imprinting your desires onto the fabric of reality. Mandalas and sacred geometry are also used to access higher dimensions of consciousness and influence the fabric of reality. Mandalas are intricate geometric designs that represent the cosmos, while sacred geometry explores the mathematical relationships and proportions found in nature. By meditating on these symbols, you can tap into deeper levels of consciousness and align yourself with the universal energies. The question becomes, are you ready to take control of your reality and begin bending it to your will? But what if this power extended beyond just your personal reality? Could chaos magicians work together to hack the global matrix and rewrite reality on a larger scale? Imagine a collective of individuals using their combined intention to create positive change in the world, to heal the wounds of division, and to manifest a more sustainable and equitable future. It sounds like science fiction, but the potential is there. However, with great power comes great responsibility. It's crucial to approach chaos magic with ethics and integrity, ensuring that your actions align with your highest values and that you are not infringing on the free will of others? Are you willing to wield this power responsibly, knowing that your actions have far-reaching consequences? So, how do we know if reality is being altered? The answer may lie in the strange phenomena we are beginning to witness around us. Consider the Mandela effect, the phenomenon of widespread false memories, where large groups of people remember events differently than they actually occurred. For example, many people remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s when he was actually released and later became president of South Africa. Could these be signs of intentional reality alterations, subtle changes to the timeline that are causing inconsistencies in our memories? Then there are the glitches in the matrix, anomalous events that suggest that reality may not be as stable or consistent as we think. Synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that seem too improbable to be random, could be glimpses behind the curtain, moments where the underlying structure of reality is momentarily revealed. Déjà vu experiences, the feeling of having already lived through a particular moment, could be echoes of past timelines or alternate realities. And paranormal phenomena, such as ghosts, UFOs, and other unexplained events, could be evidence of dimensions or realities that are bleeding through into our own. Are you paying attention to these anomalies, recognizing them as potential signs of systemic errors or intentional manipulations? What if the past itself is not fixed, but is constantly being rewritten, leading to changes in the present and future? The possibility of timeline shifts raises profound questions about causality, free will, and the nature of reality. Can we really change the past? And if so, what are the potential consequences? Perhaps the Mandela effect and other anomalies are evidence of these timeline shifts, subtle alterations to the past that are rippling through our present. The most important thing is to become aware. Awareness is the key to protecting yourself from manipulation and reclaiming your sovereignty. Pay attention to your own experiences, question everything, and trust your intuition. The more people who become aware of these phenomena, the more empowered we will become to create a positive future. What does all of this imply for the future of our society? What if the very reality you perceive is being meticulously sculpted, not by chance, but by design? Are you aware of the unseen barriers erected around your consciousness, limiting your potential and dictating your experience? We're not talking about physical walls or borders, but something far more insidious: frequency fences. Imagine invisible walls of electromagnetic or sonic energy, subtly altering the environment, manipulating human behavior, and blocking the natural harmonics essential for well-being. These aren't just theoretical concepts. Technologies capable of generating such fences exist. High-powered microwave transmitters, phased array radar systems, and even modified cell towers could potentially be used to create localized or even widespread frequency fences. What if these fences are being deployed to control migration patterns, restricting access to resources, or suppressing the flow of information? Think about the implications for free will and autonomy if certain populations are unwittingly trapped within these artificial energetic boundaries, their thoughts and actions subtly guided by external forces. Are you living in a Truman Show delusion, where the world around you is a carefully constructed stage set, designed to keep you compliant and unaware of the true nature of reality? Consider the effects of sensory deprivation, a state of reduced stimulation that can lead to profound psychological and physiological changes. Social isolation, the increasing disconnect from nature, and the relentless bombardment of artificial stimuli, could these be creating a form of societal sensory deprivation, making us more susceptible to manipulation and control? When our senses are dulled and our connection to the natural world is weakened, we become more vulnerable to external influences. The constant stream of information overload, the endless distractions of technology, and the lack of genuine human connection can create a state of cognitive fatigue, making it harder to discern truth from falsehood. That nagging sense of unease, the feeling that something is not quite right, could that be your subconscious mind signaling that you are trapped within a frequency fence, cut off from the vital energies of the natural world? It's crucial to seek sensory experiences. What are some countermeasures? Grounding exercises, spending time in nature, connecting with like-minded individuals, engaging in creative expression, limiting exposure to technology and media, and cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness. By actively engaging with the world around us and reclaiming our connection to our senses, we can break free from the frequency fence and reclaim our natural state of being. Are you ready to tear down the walls of your perceived reality and embrace the full spectrum of human experience? But what if the manipulation goes even further, targeting not just your senses, but your very perception of reality itself? Prepare yourself, because we're about to delve into the disturbing world of synesthesia weaponization. Synesthesia, the neurological phenomenon where stimulation of one sense triggers experiences in another, is typically considered a harmless quirk of the brain. But what if this phenomenon could be artificially induced and weaponized, used to control and manipulate populations on a mass scale? Imagine technology that could trigger specific sensory experiences in a targeted population, influencing their emotions, behavior, and even physical health. Sonic weapons, for example, could be used to induce specific emotional states or physical sensations, creating chaos and disarray in a crowd. EMF weapons could be used to disrupt brain function, causing confusion, disorientation, and even seizures. The ethical implications are horrifying. Could you defend yourself? Consider the disturbing phenomenon known as Havana Syndrome, where American diplomats and intelligence officers around the world have reported experiencing a range of unexplained symptoms, including headaches, nausea, dizziness, hearing loss, and cognitive difficulties. While the cause of Havana Syndrome remains a mystery, some experts suspect that it may be the result of targeted sonic or microwave attacks. The technology behind these attacks is complex, involving the use of focused energy beams to disrupt brain function and induce specific symptoms. The implications are chilling. Are we on the brink of a new era of warfare, where the battlefield is the human brain? Neuroweapons, weapons that directly target the brain and nervous system, are no longer the stuff of science fiction. What are the potential offensive capabilities and defensive technologies? The capabilities and limitations of these weapons are still largely unknown, but the potential for misuse is enormous. Governments and corporations are pouring vast resources into developing these technologies, and the race is on to control the future of warfare. What can we do to protect ourselves from neuroweapons? Becoming informed about these technologies, advocating for ethical guidelines, and developing countermeasures to protect our brains and nervous systems from attack are crucial steps. Are you ready to defend your mind against the unseen forces that seek to control it? But what if the manipulation extends beyond the present, reaching into the very fabric of time itself? Prepare yourself, because we're about to explore the mind-bending concept of time manipulation. Retrocausality, the theoretical possibility of influencing past events from the present or future, challenges our fundamental understanding of cause and effect. Is retrocausality possible? And if so, what are the potential implications and paradoxes? How could it be used for manipulation or control? While retrocausality remains a controversial topic in physics, some experiments have suggested that it may be possible under certain conditions. What about precognitive dreams and visions, glimpses of alternate realities? Are precognitive dreams and visions real, and if so, what is their source? Could these be glimpses of alternate timelines, possible futures that are constantly branching off from the present moment? Some scientists believe that precognition may be related to quantum entanglement, a phenomenon where two particles become linked together in such a way that they share the same fate, regardless of the distance between them. This is timeline jumping. What if you had the ability to consciously shift from one timeline to another, choosing your own reality. Timeline jumping, the ability to consciously shift from one timeline to another by changing one's beliefs, thoughts, and actions, is a concept that has gained popularity in recent years. How does one change their timeline, and how does it affect reality? It involves identifying the timeline you wish to inhabit and consciously aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with that reality. This could involve changing your beliefs, setting new goals, or making different choices in your daily life. It might sound like science fiction, but the underlying principle is that our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality. Then there are the Akashic Records. What are the Akashic Records, and how do they relate to time and reality? The Akashic Records, the universal record of all past, present, and future events, are said to contain the entire history of the universe, including the thoughts, feelings, and experiences of every living being. How might one rewrite their personal history and destiny? Some believe that it is possible to access and rewrite the Akashic Records, changing one's personal history and destiny. This could involve releasing past traumas, healing old wounds, and aligning oneself with one's true purpose. Are you ready to take control of your timeline and rewrite your destiny? The snow moon is coming, and it is going to unleash forces that will change your life forever. This snow moon serves as a catalyst for releasing old timelines and embracing new possibilities. What are timelines, and why are they important to the global energy grid? Timelines are the pathways of our lives, the sequences of events that lead us from one moment to the next. The snow moon's amplified energies can help us to release old timelines that no longer serve us, freeing us to create new and more fulfilling realities. But remember, embrace uncertainty and adaptability in navigating the shifting landscape of reality. How can individuals develop resilience and flexibility in the face of change? It involves cultivating a mindset of openness, curiosity, and acceptance. It means letting go of the need for control and trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. It means being willing to adapt to new situations and learn from our experiences. We must become walkers between worlds. How does one become a walker between worlds? Why is this necessary to the grid? It involves developing a deep connection to both the physical and spiritual realms, learning to navigate the unseen forces that shape our reality. It means becoming a bridge between worlds, helping to heal the divide between humanity and the divine. The ultimate goal is to become a conscious creator, shaping your destiny. Why is conscious creation so important? How does one align with their true purpose? It involves aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your highest values. It means taking responsibility for your creations and using your power to manifest a better world. But what if the snow moon is not just a natural phenomenon or a tool of manipulation, but something far more significant? What if it's a signal, a beacon of hope from benevolent extraterrestrial civilizations seeking to assist humanity in its evolution? How might this assistance manifest, and what challenges might it entail? How can one discern between benevolent and malevolent ET influences? The content we are about to explore may challenge some of your core beliefs, shaking you to your very foundation. But it is important to stay engaged, to be open-minded, and to trust your intuition as we delve into these challenging concepts. What if everything you thought you knew was about to change forever? Subscribe, share, and comment on this video, because are we truly alone, or are we being watched? The benevolent ETs, are they truly guides or cosmic players in a game we barely understand? Throughout this video series, we've explored the possibility of extraterrestrial influence, a topic fraught with both hope and potential manipulation. The truth is, discerning between genuine assistance and veiled control requires a razor-sharp intuition, critical thinking honed to a fine edge, and spiritual discernment that pierces through layers of deception. We are not alone, but that knowledge demands caution. Every offer of help must be weighed against the potential cost to our autonomy, our freedom to choose our own destiny. Even with seemingly benevolent guides, we must remember that we retain the ultimate power of free will, the ability to say yes or no to any influence, regardless of its origin. But how can you truly know? Are you ready to trust yourself? We've laid bare the manipulation matrix, exposing mind control tactics, frequency fences designed to box in your consciousness, and the sinister weaponization of synesthesia. Recognizing these tactics is not enough. We must actively dismantle them within our own lives and in the world around us. This means cultivating awareness, questioning the narratives presented to us by mainstream media and authority figures, and reclaiming our sovereignty over our own minds and bodies. It also means becoming skilled in critical thinking, able to analyze information objectively and identify logical fallacies and deceptive techniques. But beware, the line between healthy skepticism and debilitating paranoia is thin. The key is to maintain a balanced perspective, to question everything without falling into the trap of cynicism or despair. Remember, your mind is the ultimate battleground. Are you ready to defend it? But all is not lost. The human spirit is a force of nature, capable of overcoming even the most sophisticated forms of manipulation. Our collective consciousness holds the key to unlocking a more positive future, a future where we co-create a world based on freedom, justice, and sustainability. This requires intentionality, a clear vision of the world we wish to create, and an unwavering commitment to positive action. It also requires spiritual connection, a recognition of our interconnectedness with all living beings and with the divine source of creation. No matter how dark things may seem, no matter how pervasive the manipulation, humanity always has the capacity for good, the power to choose love over fear, unity over division, and truth over deception. Are you ready to unleash the power within? We have peered behind the curtain, revealing a distorted reality where truth and lies are often indistinguishable. Discerning fact from fiction is now a matter of survival, and each individual must take responsibility for choosing their own destiny. The ultimate source of freedom, the final check on all forms of manipulation, lies within your own will, your own power to choose what you believe, how you act, and what kind of world you want to create. No external force, no matter how powerful, can take that away from you. The choice is yours and yours alone. Are you ready to claim it? Echoes of the past resonate in the present, revealing recurring patterns of control and resistance throughout human history. From ancient empires to modern corporations, unseen forces have always sought to dominate and manipulate humanity. But in every generation, there have been those who resisted, those who stood up for freedom and truth, those who refused to be controlled. Resilience is the key to breaking free from these cycles of manipulation. By studying the past, we can learn from the successes and failures of those who came before us, gaining valuable insights into the strategies and tactics used by those who seek to control us. But history is not just a record of past events. It is a living force that shapes our present and influences our future. Are you ready to learn from the past and break free from the chains of history? The choices we make today will shape the future of humanity for generations to come. Will we succumb to manipulation and control, allowing our world to be dominated by unseen forces and technological tyranny? Or will we embrace our power to create a more just, equitable, and sustainable world, a world where freedom and truth prevail? The answer depends on our collective awareness, our willingness to take action, and our unwavering commitment to positive change. The stakes are high, and the future of humanity hangs in the balance. Are you ready to step up and claim your role in shaping the destiny of our world? This energy grid disruption, this snow moon event, is not just a crisis. It's an opportunity, a catalyst for an evolutionary leap in human consciousness. The challenges we face are forcing us to confront our limitations, develop new skills, and connect with our spiritual potential. We are being pushed to evolve, to transcend our old ways of thinking and being, and to embrace a new paradigm of consciousness. Even in times of chaos and uncertainty, there is always the potential for growth and transformation. By embracing the challenges, we can emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. Are you ready to embrace your evolution? The battle for the global energy grid is an ongoing one, a constant struggle between control and freedom, manipulation and truth. Your conscious participation is not just important, it's essential. You are now armed with knowledge, equipped with the tools to discern truth from lies, and empowered to reclaim your sovereignty. But knowledge is not enough. You must also take action. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and stay engaged in the process of creating a more positive future. The world needs your voice, your energy, and your unique talents. Are you ready to join the fight? Are we alone? The question of extraterrestrial involvement remains open, the definitive answer elusive. Perhaps the answer depends on your own perspective, your own level of spiritual development. The most important thing is to remain open-minded, to consider all possibilities, and to trust your own intuition as you seek the truth. But remember, the search for truth is not just an external quest. It's an internal journey, a process of self-discovery and spiritual awakening. As you grow, so too will your understanding of the cosmos. Are you ready to look within? Is there hope for the future? Yes, but it's a qualified yes. A yes tempered with the recognition of the significant challenges we face. But hope is not a passive emotion. It's an active choice, a decision to believe in the power of human resilience, creativity, and compassion. It requires commitment, courage, and perseverance. It means refusing to give in to despair, even in the face of overwhelming odds. It means holding on to the vision of a better world, even when it seems impossible. Are you ready to choose hope? What can you do, right now, to reclaim your power and contribute to a more positive future? First, ground your energy and protect your mind. Engage in practices that help you stay connected to the earth and centered in your own being. Limit your exposure to negative influences, such as mainstream media and toxic relationships. Second, challenge the mainstream narrative. Question everything, seek out alternative perspectives, and think for yourself. Third, build resilient communities. Connect with like-minded individuals who share your values and vision for the future. Support local businesses, share resources, and create networks of mutual aid. Fourth, connect with your spiritual source. Cultivate a relationship with the divine, however you understand it. Engage in practices such as meditation, prayer, or spending time in nature. And fifth, embrace your creative potential. Express yourself through art, music, writing, or any other form of creative expression. Use your talents to inspire others and to create beauty in the world. The snow moon is not just a harbinger of doom. It's a trigger for awakening, a crossroads where we have the opportunity to choose a new path, to create a new reality. Embrace the present moment, use it as an opportunity to make positive change, and remember that you are not alone. In future videos, we'll explore the promise and peril of emerging technologies, such as quantum computing, nanotechnology, and artificial intelligence. We'll delve into historical case studies, examining how civilizations have risen and fallen based on their ability to manage the energies of the global grid. We'll explore various spiritual practices, providing you with the tools you need to transform your life and contribute to a more positive future. So, subscribe to this channel, share this video with others, and engage in the comments section below. Let's continue this discussion, let's build a strong community of conscious creators, and let's create a better world together. One final question to ponder long after this video ends. The ET's benevolent saviors, or something else entirely? Even if their intentions are good, could their help have unforeseen consequences, hidden agendas that we cannot yet comprehend? The future is unwritten, and the choices we make today will determine the fate of humanity. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, stay awake, stay aware, and stay